Islam, Islam, Islam. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7. And love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That is. And love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Can we all stand as we recite our Moorish American prayer? We're going to turn to the east as going within. We put up 2 fingers on the right, 5 on the left, with our heels touching one another, standing on our square. Repeat after me. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Islam, Islam, Islam. I would like to first rise giving the highest holy praises to our Father God Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Also, Allah, the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. We give honors to both father and mother. Islam, I would like to rise and give high holy honors to our illustrious and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who introduced us this message of love. And I'd like to give honors to all the divine prophets that brought us all the divine word. Islam, now I ask Allah to bind our hearts and minds together as thou did in ancient times, that we shall learn to love instead of hate. So that's what we're here for today. And today's subject is on genetics and DNA. So I want to honor each and every one of you that are coming on these platforms to build with us today. Honors to you. Honors to everything that you may say, any questions you may have, honors to that, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help you unfold into your true self. What is your genetics? What is your DNA? How do you fit yourself in this? When they say birthrights and citizenship, what does that mean? And what does that look like as a people? Islam. So the prophet brought us these amazing instructions that teach us and help us to unfold into our higher selves, to help us unfold into our God self, so that we understand that Allah is within us. So us and Allah are one. Me and Allah are one all day long. So we give honors to that here at the Moorish Science Temple of America. We do not believe that man was born in sin. We don't roll with that because he was not. We know that Allah and man are one. And once our people can understand that, then they can stop looking for God outside of themselves and start looking for God within themselves. Because that's the biggest problem with us. We keep thinking someone's coming, and who's going to come and save me now? And nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. So that's why the prophet brought what he brought. Because he said, I brought you everything to save a nation. Now save yourself. So you have to be responsible and accountable for you, which most people don't want to be responsible and accountable for themselves. So that's where we're at today. And we're going to wait for our amazing guest to come on. So honors to our sister Vashira Burbe, she is a nurse. So she's going to come on here and really give us some deep science about this thing, on how this thing works for us. And it even is a whole lot dealing with our thoughts in the brain and the stomach and the heart. All of these things need to align in a certain way to get where we need to go on this path to being the Allah that we are, Allah within us, Islam. So that's where we're at today. This is where we're going with this today. I would love for y'all to join in on the conversation whenever you can, Islam, ever you can. So we're going to get started here. I'm not sure if they're coming on. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll see here. We're going to put up some invites to invite a few people in. Then we're going to start with this. We're going to do these laws. Because we got to clean house. You know what I'm saying? He said everything. Get your house in order. So you got to get you in order. Get your house in order. It's not up to nobody else. It's up to us to do these things that were placed in front of us. It's not up to no one else to do it for us. And I feel like once we understand that, man, we could get so much further than what we are. You know what I'm saying? So much further than what we are. Because we complain too much. We're too much of complainers. We don't need to be. Islam. So I'm hoping they're going to come in. I'm trusting they're going to come in. We'll see. We're probably going to have to just go live on Facebook in order to get them in. But I did send them. Let's see. Is there a waiting room going on here? Let's see if we got someone in the waiting room. Let's see. Let's see. Where's the waiting room? Oh, the breakout rooms. I don't have breakout rooms. Notes. No notes. Let's see. Where is the thing? The whatchamacallit. Okay, that's the base hands. Where is the room? No, we don't want that. We need the room. We need the room. We need the room. Let's see. I don't see nobody. Well, I guess it'll pop up when they pop up in here, huh? We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we will get started. I'll start reading the laws and then hopefully they'll come in by then. As long. All right. Islam, Islam, Islam. Salvation, Allah, unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Everybody needs a constitution for their life. This is why we have a constitution for America. But the prophet made sure we had a constitution to keep us in line too, so that we could act like we got some sense. Because without constitutions to the body, you'll be out here acting any kind of way, and that's the problem now. Nobody wants to follow no rules. Nobody wants to follow no laws. But in no matter where you're at in anything you're doing, and when people say, I don't do politics, how you don't? Your job is a politic. When you go to the grocery store, it's a politic. Everything got to do with politics. If you didn't know it, it rules your life. If you're not into it, that's a sad situation. You need to be into it so you can know what's going on for you and yours. When you're not a part of it, you can't complain about it. And just because you go vote, don't make you a part of it. You could be making it more of a problem if you're not standing in the affairs to help in the movement. You're just sitting back waiting to see what you can receive. But see, here we got to put in the work. So it's not what your nation can do for you. What can you do for your nation? And you wonder why a lot of people have to go back where they're from. Not a bad thing. This is a great thing because everyone needs to go back and claim the land that they come from because all of it's been compromised. All of it. So I don't think it's a bad thing. It's really a good thing for everyone to return back so we can go back to our roots. So we can learn how to respect the ancestors that came before us. Because what we're out here doing now is so disrespectful to our forefathers and foremothers in every aspect of the way. Because nowhere in God's writings, nowhere that God left it, that things are supposed to be in the way that they are. So when someone got to show up to put things in order, you might not like it. You might not like the face of it. But hey, who said they knew what God looked like? You don't know. Islam, the closest place you can meet Allah is in your heart. And I ain't talking about this one. I'm talking about the one that's closer than your jugular vein. So in the mind, in that heart, where things are made of thoughts and things come together in this mind. That's why we're going to talk about this brain, and we're going to talk about this stomach, and we're going to talk about this heart, because they're all connected. And it needs to be a balance within in order for us to reach this higher essence of who we are, to step into our God self. Islam. So let's get to these laws. Islam, very important. Salvation, Allah, unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. It's a character building movement. So that's why there's acts, because there's acts even in the Constitution of America. It's an act, it's an amendment, it's an act, because it's based on your action. Islam. So, Act 1, the Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday, the first man was formed in flesh, and it was on a Friday that the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God, Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4, all members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5, this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. They may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7, all members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Islam is Islam. Now for the additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Act 1, the Grand Sheik is the governing head of our temple. All business of said temple must be approved by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, before it be acted upon by any member. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the member to sacrifice finance, that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheik. Act 2, all members are to attend their ADEP meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, they will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 4, All members, while up making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5, all members must promptly attend their meeting and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his five senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Islam. Act 6, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part impartial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, color folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7, all members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Islam. Islam. I trust y'all all are doing well today. We might switch this tablet over to we might switch this tablet over in a minute. I'm gonna read a couple of things. These are, I would say they are our these are current events that are happening right now. These are current events that are happening as we speak, right? And so I'm gonna read them because it's important that we even grab a hold to this, right? Islam. Um, a divine warning by the prophets for the nation. Let's see. Prophet by the nations. I want to see if I can pull this screen over because I'm really wanting to see my whatchamacallit thing. Let's see. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see right there. Let's see. We're gonna move you over this way because I want to see this side of my thing of my screen because I have some major notes. So are you serious right now? No, you weren't supposed to do that. Yeah. There we go. Perfectos. All right. So we'll see. I don't know where everyone is at this moment, but I'll still go with the flow. I ain't got no problem doing it because this for the people, and we gotta get this message to the people. We gotta stop playing the way we be playing. We gotta stop with it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I don't know where the other part went, or wherever it went. We're gonna go on and continue. If someone comes in, I'm thinking I'll see them. I'm not sure. I just can't figure out. Responsive meeting participants upon entry, allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay. Enable rate. Really? Okay. I didn't even see that there, y'all. Yeah, so we can hear when someone's coming in to join the meeting. We can know that they're in there Islam. So let me see how much. We still might try to just watch. Let's see. After I read this to y'all, I think after because this is just so important, and I think this needs to be read at every meeting. These two need to be read at every meeting at this time because this is for the times right now, like for real, for real. This is for, hold on one second here. Islam. All right, my apologies, you guys. It was a very important phone call that came through. So we're gonna go back to this live again because I just had to cut the live short. I had to cut the live short, so we're gonna get back to this, right? And I'm gonna come in so that you guys can get a view of this. Okay, 60. We're probably gonna go on and do this Facebook because it's like, okay, I'm on live. I need you to be quiet, brother. Really? Oh my gosh. And this is all in my live. You hear that? It's all in my live. Where is it? I don't know what's going on. Everything seems like it's being crossed up at this time. Oh my goodness. Can this person go away? Mm, I don't know how this person's in my live, y'all, but okay, we're gonna get this going. This is I'm gonna have to chop this up, honey. I'm gonna have to chop this up. I'm gonna have to chop it up because I don't know who this person is because I didn't ask them to be out here. Yes, okay. Now let's hope that they don't come back in here, right? Because I'm just, wait a minute, I got phone calls coming. I can't get the stuff out. This is crazy. All right, Islam, we back. We back. We back. We had to I had some guest requests. I did. Oh, I'm mad right now that I had some guest requests and I had to come off of here real quick because I got a phone call. Okay, so we're gonna get back into this. I tried to invite as many people as I could. Yeah, no, we're not doing enough invites. Y'all just gonna have to come over. We're gonna go on and bring this up and just make this thing rock, baby. Rock, 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 rock. Oh my goodness, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. We're gonna get this thing going. But I wanted to read this to you guys first, okay? I'm gonna have to chop this up and make it even better. Because everything is just not doing what I needed to do. And there's a couple of people on Facebook I really wanted to come in. I hope Noble comes back because I know he's gonna come and bring some things, and I wanted him on here anyway. You know, I wanted him on here anyway. So we're gonna get going with this the divine warning by the prophet for the nation. So as I said, this is current events. This is some current events. Oh man, like really? Oh my goodness. Yes, yes. To the right. To the right. It just is like every which way I go, the phone just keeps going. Like, y'all know that I'm on here, right? You got to know a sister is on here. Y'all know every Friday I do this thing, right? No, I don't get it, but we're gonna try to go. So as I said, these are current events that are going on right now that we need to be very aware of. And Vashira will be coming in like within the next 15, 20 minutes to give us some insight on this. She's a nurse. She's one of our nurse practitioners of the movement. And so she's very knowledgeable of these things when it comes to genetics and DNA. And there is a difference, y'all. There's a big difference, a big difference. So we want to talk about these current events. These are current events. These are very much current events. And I need y'all to get them likes up when y'all come in this room. I need y'all to get these likes up because we need to get this message out to our people. We got to get the message out. We got to get our people to understanding and opening their minds to what is really going on here. Islam. So I'm going to read these two so to give Ashira and Sister Shonda time to come in and and do, do their demonstrations so that we can, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So this is out of the literature, the Moorish literature, which Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's a lot of inserts from his newspaper, which was called the Moorish Guide, right? So one of the inserts here is called a divine warning come in by the prophet for the nation. The citizens of offering come in. Okay. My, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, I forgot. My apologies. Thank you. All right, so my apologies. This is a divine warning by the prophet for the nation. The citizens of all free governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family, bearing one free national name. Those Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables. You can come in. Are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and principles of that delude to slavery. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to the state of mind of their forefathers, divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine right as citizens, according to the free national constitution, that was prepared for all free national beings. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the, excuse me, by this government and of the earth, and comes only through the connection of the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. And through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot to the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government and not under a granted privilege, which is your civil rights. I don't tell you your civil rights are privileges. They're not rights. And not under a granted privilege, as has been the existing condition for many generations. You who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know law in the city hall and among the officials in your government and ask them under an intelligent tone. And they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light. Money doesn't make the man. It is a free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver, and commerce belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principles, you can't be black, Negro, and colored, y'all. You can't be. Because those are names that delude to slavery. Islam, you have no true wealth. I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work, because I need all the support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of the government. I am depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and they will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. I love my people and I desire their unity and mind back to their own free national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. Black, Negro, colored, African American, Ethiopian, none, all those are diluted names to slavery. They labeled you as a slave when they did that. That's how you became a subject to the government. This is why the 14th and 15th Amendment is not needed. But I'm going to let you know about that in a minute, because the prophet wrote this back in the 1920s. So these are current events to today. Let you know that. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens. That's straight up. Any citizen that comes over here from any other country has to know our Constitution, has to take a test about it, because they got to claim a nationality. So if they got to do it, we must sue, because we got to be known by all the governments around the world. And no government around the world, no black people, Negro, no colored folks, no none of that. They don't even subscribe to that nowhere in the world but right here. Islam. So it says it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled, because they place their trust upon issues and names that they are neither a part or partial of. Neither were they formed by their forefathers. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principle, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issues and names formed by their forefathers. So I'm going to stop right there to say this. Like they're saying, oh, Ghana's saying we could come back. The Africa said we could come back. Excuse me, are you gonna know your nationality? Because they're gonna ask you for it. And you're gonna have to know it. So you're gonna go there and talk, I'm black. That's not your land. None of that stuff belongs to you. So now you're gonna go over there, and now you are, because you fail to have a national descent name, you're gonna be misused, imprisoned, or exiled in another country. So because you go over there, that ain't gonna make it no different. You still need to know your national name. You still need to know your nationality and your divine creed. Which a divine creed is your religion. What connects you back to Allah? That's the divine creed that we must teach our people. Because they place their trust upon issues and names that they are neither a part or partial of. Neither were they formed by their forefathers. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principles, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issues and names formed by their forefathers. The word Negro deludes in the Latin language to the word nigger, the same as the word colored deludes to anything that is painted, varnished, and dyed. And every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because honoring thy fathers and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon this earth. These names have never been recognized by any true American citizen of this day. Through your free national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by said national government in which they live. Here we go for your 14th and 15th Amendment. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in union, placing the Southerners, who were at that time without power, with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was in force since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need. There's no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendment for the salvation of our people and citizens. So they don't even need to be there. Why everybody's having this big argument about, oh, the 14th and 15th Amendment, but that's us. No, it's not. 13 has 18 missing pieces, just like the Moorish science has the 18 missing years of Jesus. Come on now. And they got 18 missing pieces out of that 13th Amendment. This is why it's important that you got to know your politics so you know where your rights fall in. If not, then you're just deluded. Hey, they just don't treat you however. You're gonna get the misuses and misabuses of the citizens and whatever they decide to bestow upon you. Because you haven't claimed that. So nobody knows who you are. Islam. Yeah. Mm. So there's no need for it. So there isn't but one supreme issue. Okay. There isn't but one supreme issue for my people to use to redeem that which was lost, and that is through the above statement. The lion and the lamb can lie down together in yonder hills, and neither will be harmed, because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in this land. In those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if the above principles are not carried out by the citizens and my people in this government, the worst is yet to come, because Allah's wrath ain't going to be held back. Believe it. That's why you keep seeing what's going on. Pay attention. Because the great God of the universe is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by my people. And this great sin must be removed from the land to save it from enormous earthquakes, diseases, and etc. And I, the prophet, do hereby believe that this administration of the government, being more wisely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution, and laws, and through the help of such classes of citizens. I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving carnal customs and merely ideas of man that have never done them any good. Yo, DEI stuff ain't done us no good, but have always harmed them. Y'all argue over stuff that has always harmed the people, have always harmed our people. That's what we get. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way. And without understanding, they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically, etc. I hope y'all see where we at in this, because this is today. And this was written in 1929. In their present condition of their endeavorment, in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world, they will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on this earth. And they fought the Southerner for all these great misuses. But I have traveled in the South, and I have examined conditions there, and it is the works of my people continuously practicing the things that bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives the life. And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in the great missionary work to bring my people out of darkness into marvelous light. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This is from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam. So that's one. That's one for the current event. Hope it wasn't too harsh for y'all. Because the prophet, he got rid of all excuses. So all them excuses and complaints, he ain't trying to hear none of them. That's why people run from more science. It's very stern, but if you get it, have it. Because it's for you. This is what this was brought for, to save us from ourselves. He brought everything to save a nation. Now save yourself. Straight up. You got to save yourself. You can't look for somebody to come save you, because nobody is. It's not a sky daddy. It's nobody up there saying, hey, let me go get you. No, you must save yourself. You must raise your thoughts to a higher consciousness to be in connection with Allah. Because the crying and begging and woe is me is not going to work anymore. Get up off your butt. It's time to go to work. For most of these people that just don't want to do it. But you're going to have to. We all had to work hard. My mama did. I don't know many people that didn't have to work hard for it. So the sit at home thing, I don't get it. I just don't. It drives me insane. Because I can't sit too long. I'm too antsy. I'm too antsy. All right, so we're going to go to this next one by then Sister Vashira Shabi. This is the Moorish leader's historical message to America. In connection with the aims, objects, rules, and regulations of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, I deem it proper to submit to you a brief statement of our organization, covering its inception, rise, and progress, and of the Mohammedan religion, which I hope will be satisfactory to you and be the means of causing you at all times to adhere to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice in your relations with mankind in general. I further most anxiously hope this brief statement will help you to more clearly see the duty and wisdom of at all times upholding these fundamental principles, which are desired for our civilization of our posterity, such as obedience to law, respect and loyalty to government, tolerance, and unity. We organized as the Moorish Temple of Science in the year of 1925, and we were legally incorporated as a civic organization under the laws of the state of Illinois, November 29, 1926. The name Moorish Temple of Science was changed to the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, May of 1928. In accordance with the legal requirements of the Secretary of the State of Illinois. The object of our organization is to help in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity and teach those things necessary to make our members better citizens. A national organization with a Rotarian complexion. And I explain what a Rotarian complexion is. A Rotarian complexion ain't got to do with your skin. You look up what Rotarian means, it has everything to do with your character, how you would show up for your community. So it didn't have nothing to do with nobody's skin color even then. It had everything to do with your principles, what your principles and morals are. And if you stood on good principles and morals, then you can be a part of this Rotarian complexion because it has to do with the heart. This is what I'm saying to y'all. This heart that y'all we fall so deep into create so much ego in us that we can't hear our people when they're speaking because we got an ego coming out the other side of our neck that we need to learn to subdue. Islam, a national organization with a Rotarian complexion as it relates to branch temples became obvious with the increasing numbers of inquiries from men and women in different sections of the country concerning the purpose of the organization. There are branch temples in 15 different states at this time. And this was back in the 1920s, 1929, it was around that time, 1926. There were still 15 there were temples in 15 different states at that time. They said he had numbers of us, numbers. We talking the 1920s when they said it was a depression. Who? Prophet Noble Drew Ali had 7 businesses in the 1920s. They was doing well for themselves. Him and Calvin Coolidge was cool, and he was the president at the time. And Calvin Coolidge did some things. That's why they had to get him up out of there. That was going to be the only president in time that ever, he was there the shortest. Between him, his Secretary of State, which was Francis S. White, was all passive. They was passive. You didn't know, but they was passive. But he was really working for us at that time. And the prophet and him were very close to the prophet. Had the government, we had it. That's how we were able to create. We were able to have our government in Chicago. That's our Mecca. That's our government. When it's all said and done, Islam. Since the work of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science was largely religious, the organization has been legally changed to a religious corporation, and an affidavit to this effect has been properly filed to County Recorder's Office in Illinois, and it still sits there today. You can still go look up this today. Okay? Inspired by the lofty teachings of the Quran, we have it as the revealed word of God Allah. We shall foster the principles of its teachings among our members. This is our religious privilege as American citizens under the laws of one of the greatest documents of all time, the American Constitution. The religion of Islam is the least appreciated and probably the most misunderstood of the world's great religions. This is especially true in our Western world. Try to understand what Islam stands for and some of the things it has contributed to the world. Muhammad was the founder of the Uniting of Islam religion. It originated 13 centuries ago on Arabian Peninsula, where the streams of commerce and culture met and mingled in the Middle Ages, where the markets of exchange were stationed for treasures of India and the products of the Mediterranean coast. There, this religion was established in the unprecedented short period of 20 years. And unlike many other religions, without the aid of any royal patronage and support, Buddhism had its Ahsoka. Judaism is Joshua. Christianity is Constantine. But Mohammedanism had no person of royal rank and power to assist in its establishment and spread. Today, this religion is acknowledged by nearly 250 million souls and extends over an area equal to 1/3 of the globe. From Arabia, it spread eastward over Persia, Turkestan, Afghanistan, westward across Syria, Asia Minor, Turkey, southward to Africa, covering more than half of that continent. It found its way to India and beyond the islands of Sumatra, Java, and Borneo. To the early representatives of this faith, the world's debt is incalculably great. For it was they who transmitted the treasures of Greek literature from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance. They who originated the graceful forms of which the Taj Mahal and the Alhambra are the most famous examples. It was they. That means us. It was us who contributed to the sciences of algebra and chemistry, astronomy, and medicine. They who dotted the Sacrine Empire with universities and who built at Baghdad and Cairo the most renowned universities of the world. During these centuries of ecclesiastical despotism, when the Christian church suppressed all intellectual activities, save those that were theological, causing the talent that reproduces to supplant the genius that creates. Mohammedans did all in their power to encourage and stimulate research in every branch of human inquiry. The Moors or Mohammedans added to the beauty and grandeur of Spain. For centuries, art, science, literature, and chivalry flourished among them, while the rest of Europe was still sunk in the gloom of the Dark Ages. The Moors were the most ingenuous and industrious of the subjects of Spain. Their expulsion from Spain in 1610 was one of the chief causes of decadence of that country, for both agriculture and industry fell into decay after their departure. Islamism makes no distinction. We don't make no distinction between high and low, rich and poor. It is like the sky is room for all. Islam, the Quran should be of interest to all readers. It is the Bible of the Muslims, ruling over the customs and actions of over 600 millions of people. It is a work of importance, whether considered from a religious, philosophical, or literary viewpoint. In the promotion of plans for the betterment of mankind, there has ever been some kind of opposition. And strange as it may seem, such opposition has come from sources where there were no ideas or the lack of courage to force attention to ideas. Whether in church, state, or social community, any attempt to do anything out of the usual way seldom fails to receive criticism, not because the course cannot be pursued legally or that it is unreasonable, but because it has been considered in terms as new. The Moorish Holy Temple of Science has received some opposition and criticism. In the main, the opposition has come from certain Christian ministers. They have expressed themselves as being opposed to our propagation of the religion of Islam, possibly because the promotion of the Mohammedan faith among our people in the United States is considered by them in terms as something new, whatever the reasons may be for their opposition. The legal right to oppose citizens, individuals, and organizations alike for their religious belief does not exist in the United States. You have the right to practice your religion. This is why you got to know politics so you can know your rights in that Constitution. You got to know your rights. The door of religious freedom made by American Constitution swings open to all, and people may enter through it and worship as they desire. Without religious freedom, no search for truth would be possible. Without religious freedom, no discover of truth would be useful. Without religious freedom, religious progress would be checked and we would no longer march forward toward the nobler life which the future holds for the races of men. Without religious freedom, there would be no inspiration to lift our heads and gaze with fearlessness into the vast beyond, seeking a hope eternal. It is a sad weakness in us, after all, to oppose our fellow men for their religious belief. And if there are angels who record the sorrows of men as well as their sins, they certainly know how many and deep are the useless sorrows that spring forth from such opposition. Wow. Possibly love and time will cancel our ancient hatreds in this regard and prove that in mankind, tolerance is better than unwarranted opposition. Wow. In connection with our religious aims and belief, we must promote economic security. The preaching of economic security among us is by no means a widespread and intensive as the circumstances demand. No other one thing is more needed among us at this time than greater economic power. Come on, people. Better positions for our men and women, more business employment for our boys and girls, and bigger incomes will follow our economic security. We shall be secure in nothing, people, nothing. AKA Black folk, AKA African, we won't be secured in nothing until we have economic power. A beggar people cannot develop the highest in them, nor can they attain to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was so in tempo. I love this man. I love this man. Our men, our men, women, and children should be taught to believe in the capacity of our group to succeed in business, in spite of the trials and failures of some of them. Trials and failures in business are by no means confined to any particular group of people. Some business ventures of all people fail. We have many men and women among our people who are qualified, both by training and experience, who are shining lights in the business world of all the people. And we do. We do. That's why I said the prophet had businesses back then. So I don't know. When y'all say, when was America ever great? Oh, it's been great. It was great when my ancestors was here and they was running it. That's when it was great. It was great before. Don't get it twisted. That story they keep selling y'all, not true. It is a sad weakness in us as people that we have withheld the very encouragement, support, and patronage that would have made some of our worthy business ventures a grand success, and worst of all, have joined in the condemnation of them when they failed. Except in cases of actual dishonesty, discourtesy, lack of service, and actual unreliability. Our business enterprises in every field of endeavor should have fullest of confidence, cooperation, and patronage whenever and wherever they can be given. Read carefully the doctrines of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. It contains our hopes, aims, rules, and articles of religion. Every member should have a copy. In conclusion, I urge you to remember there is work enough for all to do in helping to build a better world. The problems of life are largely social and economic. In a profound sense, they are moral and spiritual. Have lofty conceptions of our duties to our country and fellow man in general, and especially those with whom you deal. This includes such honesty and righteousness as will cause you to put yourself in other fellows' place. Look for the best in others and give them the best that is in you. Have a deeper appreciation for womanhood. Brighten the hopes of our youth in order that their courage be increased to dare and do wondrous things. Adhere at all times to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I am your affectionate leader. I shall continue to labor day and night, both in private and in public and in private, for your good, thereby contributing to the welfare of our country and its people as a whole. Islam, Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali. Those are current events. Those are straight up current events for this day and time. And those were written back in the 1920s. But till this day, we're still dealing with this same thing, and it's only us that's doing it. It ain't nobody doing this. It's us that's doing it. So once we can really see that, then we can see the glory that's to come for us. We can really see these things that are being laid out for us. But we have to get into the affairs of man. And we can't be up here acting ugly and violent, and that ain't gonna get you done. Because it ain't never got us done. So that's not gonna get you anything. Like he said, you must go ask in an intelligent tongue. Go ask in an intelligent tone, and they'll be happy to offer you a favorable reply. To see that I done brought you back into this family of nations. And that's all you gotta do is go to wherever, whatever state you live in, and go down to City Hall and ask them in an intelligent tone about the proclaiming your nationality. How is that? How do you do that? They'll tell you. They told me. Wasn't a problem. It had nothing to do with my skin color because it had nothing to do with the judge's skin color that was sitting across. We was from two different nations. But she also knew the respect for what was going on. Why are you changing your name? Because this was my ancestors' name before slavery. She said, oh my goodness, you've been doing your homework. That lady don't know me from Adam. So how she know I was doing my homework? Because they know who we are. We don't know who we are. Everybody else knows who we are, but we don't. And that's the sad part because we refuse to get in position. We refuse to get in position. We would rather sit around and we would rather sit around, complain, be dishonorable to one another, uh, treat each other like crap, and then always be talking about why they treating us like that. Why you treat us like that? Why you treat yourself like that? Because anytime you treat your brother or sister wrong, you're treating yourself wrong. You're treating yourself wrong, period. So, yeah, we're gonna get into this though. I wanted to talk about it's so much going on right now. Just until my people come on, there's so much going on right now. We got what the helicopter and the airplane crashing. Um, and it's mighty funny because I came across a video where the brother was talking about this war that popped off. Right? He was talking about this war that popped off. And this war that popped off, because it's very relatable to today. So this war that popped off in 1832. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but there was a Black Hawk helicopter and whatever this airplane was. This right here, it's no way that this is just a coincidence, right? Because when you broke down the number to the plane and the helicopter, some with the numbers to the plane and the helicopter, it comes up to 1832. We're scientists over here in Moorish science. So we numerologists, scientists, we're gonna bust them numbers down because we know it ain't. But really, for real, really 9 numbers. That's it. Ain't no other number. And really, it ain't really 9. It's really only 2, 0, and 1. It ain't really even. And 0 is just, there's just blank space. Once we fall from 1, we fall into duality. So we fall into a lower realm. We begin to fall, so we begin to go down, even though we have the chance to raise back up. Because Haru and Ra are the same. It's just the energies, it's just the fall of it. But we got to get out of that set and that egoism of what we got going on within ourselves. Because our ego is kind of a person coming out the side of your neck. Like they say, you're talking out the side of your neck. Well, that comes when you go back into Egyptian theurgy and you're looking at Set on the Set in Haru on the tree of life. And when Haru has that extra head coming out, because that's the ego, we need to let go of all that so that we can rise ourselves back up into our higher selves. We can join ourselves back with Allah, back with Ra, back with God, Yahshua, whatever name you want to put on them. Some call them Brahm. Everybody has their name. But that's the only way that we're going to really release ourselves from this mental slavery that we're still under. So there was a war in 1832. And this Black Hawk War of 1832 was a brief conflict between the United States and the Native American tribes. Now you hear United States, it don't say the United States of America, it says the United States. There's a difference in those two. And see, that's why it's important that you do history and you go into these things and not just coming on these platforms to hear people speak, but go do your research. Like that is one thing that they really said that is so true. If you want to hide anything from a person, put it in a book. Because most of it ain't even just Black folks that don't read. A lot of people don't. Even people that have these degrees, they ain't reading. And if they reading, they're not comprehending anything that they're reading. Because if you look at the United States and then go back and look at the United States of America, that's all I'm going to say. Go look at what the two differences is in the law, in Black's law, etymology, however you might want to go find it. But there's a big difference in it. There's a big difference in it. One of them is able to own property, and the other one, because we're this. This is our land, the United States of America. Islam. So this was a brief conflict between the United States and the Native American tribe. Native American tribes led by Black Hawk, a Sioux leader. The war erupted after Black Hawk and his followers, known as the British Band, crossed the Mississippi River into Illinois, hoping to reclaim land that had been ceded to the U.S. in the disputed 1804 Treaty of St. Louis. The conflict resulted in a series of skirmish and battles with the U.S. forces, ultimately defeating Black Hawk's band. The war highlighted tensions and tolerance surrounding westward expansion and the forced removal of Native American tribes from their ancestral land. Man, this stuff is written everywhere for us. This stuff is written we don't read, we don't research. We just go off whatever somebody told me, and that's what it is. And when they come on TV, y'all ain't watch one briefing. Nobody went and watched one. I watched the Kash Patel briefing, the whole 4 hours. I watched the Robert Kennedy briefing, the whole 4 hours. And all they do is give y'all sound bites. And y'all go off of these sound bites to hear. But y'all ain't sat down and really see what these people about to do with y'all. Nobody sat down and listened to this stuff. And they was giving good stuff. I can't wait for Kash Patel to become the director of the FBI. I'm excited. They call Kash Patel. I keep saying it. I can't believe the government called him a SAN, N-I-G-G. They called him a SAN, N-I-G-G. The government, some government officials called that man that. So you think he ain't ready to go in and release everything? Because he said he's releasing it all. But as our Uncle Rod said, Uncle Rod, I was just watching Uncle Rod before I came. 2025, when all that stuff had to be released. So we're just falling into the time, and all praise is due to Allah. Because this is the way things are going to unfold. If you paying attention, if you're diligent to pay attention to what's going on, everything that's been taken from you is going to be given back to you. And it'll be given back to you in words that you can't even explain. It ain't going to be able to come out your mouth how you got it. You're going to be like, I just woke up. I don't know. It was there. But we've been holding ourselves back, y'all. We've really been holding ourselves back from the enjoyments of life. Because our ego puts us in such a selfish place. And until we let go of the ego, there's no coming together. There's no alignment with Allah. There's not. I don't care how smart you are, how many words you know. Until you let go of that egotistical ways that you are, you can't reach Allah. You cannot reach it. It's not happening. It's not happening. But if we learn to let go of these egos that we got rocking around here, man, the enjoyment, the love that we would have amongst one another, because we have so much hate due to the fact. Diligence is a good subject. Cleopatra Grapes. Watch C-SPAN too. I love C-SPAN. Let me tell you something. I watch me some C-SPAN. I've been that way since I was young, though. So this ain't nothing new to me. I have been this way. So I love being in the know because I wanted to be a lawyer. So I've always wanted to know what is going on. What is they talking about up in here? And now that I know you could be a senator, man, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. And I'm going to the White House because they did invite content creators and media to come and speak. So I can't wait. I'm going. Whoever going, y'all better come with me because it'll be your time to say what you need to say. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna go say what I need to say for our people. Nobody else wants to do it. They got mad at Kanye for doing it, but guess what? Kanye was the only one that did do that. Like Larry Hoover Jr. said, you wasn't the only person that could have did that, but you was the person that did do that. He was the only person that walked up in there to talk to Donald Trump about releasing Larry Hoover, about bringing manufacturing back to America. Y'all forgot that conversation, huh? I know y'all jump off this bad boy as soon as y'all hear that, because y'all don't want to hear the truth. The truth is too stern, like the Prophet Noble True Ali says. That truth be too stern for these folks, man. They can't take it. It's too stern. The truth hurts, and they can't handle the truth. What he say? You can't even handle the truth. Y'all can't even handle the truth when it's in front of your face. And that's sad. This is why our people will perish due to the lack of knowledge, literally. not understanding that these things have to come into alignment. Them chakras are important. Them chakras are got a whole lot to do with your organs. So that's your thoughts are putting you there. Your thoughts put you there. Our thoughts turn into these things that we desire and want so bad. And those desires is why we lost our nationality. We were so in love with our lower desires and the things of the world because we want these things of the world that are so temporary. That are so temporary. That as quick as they came to you, as quick as they could be taken away from. So we rocking this bad boy on our own at this point because I don't know where the people at. I don't know where they went, but we rocking it anyway. I ain't got a problem doing it. So since we here, I'm gonna read y'all something that puts us back into the fold of family. Too, that you have to know this also because this is important. What we're seeing right now is with people that don't come over here and don't come over here right. You got to come over here right. Period. You got to. We got to go anywhere right. I can't just say I'm going to Ghana. Forget it. And I ain't got to have nothing. I'm just going to flee here and go. No, they're going to want to know everything. Who's sponsoring you? Well, what kind of job you got when you get off? How you going to create some commerce and some finance? You just can't go to nobody's country just on some lazy stuff, just because I feel like I want to escape. Not happening. You better go with something in your hand. But I want to talk about this one because I need you guys to understand what the divine origin of this Asiatic nation is. The divine origin. They always want to be the ones who bring in the truth, but they don't like listening. I swear, I promise you, it is the most funniest thing. They don't like listening, easily led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right. Islam, Islam, Islam. I hope I'm following you because I'm about to figure out how to follow you. Brother or sister, I'm not sure because I don't want to mess up the name at all, but Islam, that's what I'm talking about. And we have to stop being afraid to demonstrate because the prophet said we had to take this message to all four corners of the earth, all four corners, because this is a universal and divine movement. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody right here. It ain't for just no group of people in Atlanta, just no group of people in Chicago. This is a universal movement. This thing goes from nation to, it goes all around this planet. That's what this does. And I'm going to prove it to you. Islam, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 45. The divine origin of the Asiatic nation. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America, that's right here, need to learn to love instead of hate and to know of their higher self and their lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for the teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc. The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nation, the Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. The Egyptians, who were the Hammatites, here we go, and of a direct descendant of Mizraim. The Arabians, the seed of Hagar. Japanese and Chinese, the Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites, Hittites, and Moabites from the land of Canaan. The Asiatic nations, states, and countries in North, South, and Central America. The Moorish Americans and Mexicans in North America, Brazilians, Argentinians, and Chileans in South America, Colombians, Nicaraguans, and the natives of San Salvador in Central America, etc. All of these are Muslims. All of these are Muslims. The Turks are the true descendants of Hagar, who are the chief protectors of the Islamic creed of Mecca, beginning with Muhammad I, the founder of the Uniting of Islam, by the command of the universal God Allah. Islam. So all those nations. So when they're saying migrant, illegal migrant, please understand what migrant means. And it's not immigrant because those people are home. You just got to come home in the right way because they put borders up. We didn't put them things up. So you got to follow the rules. You got to follow the law, period. Because let me tell you something. Allah has no respect for person, and everybody got to follow the law. All of us need to be law-abiding citizens so we can have a better world. We have to stop with the self-hate. We have to stop with it because these are our brothers and sisters we see. Our cousins, our brothers, our sisters, whatever you want to call them, but you got to be right because a lot of people have been over here for too long in the wrong way. So they have come up so hard off of us, whether it's a beauty supply, a gas station, a liquor store. Some of them people ain't even right. So don't be thinking it's just our cousins coming from the no, there's borders all around this bad boy. And they've been coming in through these borders for many years. They have been implanted here, they have been placed here, they've been here a long time. But you gotta be right. You gotta do it right. I have a cousin that he went through that. Thought he was just gonna go and stay in South Africa. That's like, bro, that green card up. You gotta go home and figure your life out before you can come back over here. And that's what he did. And now he lives over in England. He works for the most, I mean, goodness, I'm doing his thing right now. Because you gotta go right. You gotta do right. And when you do right and you go right, then hey, everything is bestowed upon you. All the blessings come for you. But when it ain't right, it just ain't right. I had to go to school to be a cosmetologist. I had to take a test. I had to get a license. Now you ain't got to have one. So now people, scalps getting burnt up, eyes getting cut, all kind of stuff happens. But at least I know my license will protect me. For people that are getting a license in 7 days, I don't know how that's going to protect you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a doctor of hair, so it should have took me as long as it did to go to school. Because I'm literally a scientist, a doctor of hair. So you can't get that in 7 days. You can't even get it in 7 months. So when I'm saying that, it's we must apply ourselves to these things. We must do these things in the right way. And you ain't got to look at say they hate them. Nobody hates nobody. Things got to be done right. And the only way we're gonna know what belongs to us is if we drain the swamp and get these people on, and they can go back where they come from because their countries are saying they're owed some stuff too. So we're not the only ones owed nothing. A lot of people owe stuff back to their origin of where they come from, their nation. So we got to get in position. We all have to be put in position, y'all. This is not nothing against anyone. This is good. This is a cleansing. This is why our laws specifically say all Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. So even your mind gotta stay clean. Your thoughts should stay clean. For real. It ain't just your body being clean with water because you washed it. I went over the cleansing rites. It's many of them. It's many of them that we need to practice, even meditation, things like that to cleanse the mind. We got to get back into this family of nations, y'all. And we ain't going to get there by being black, Negro, colored, and ignorant all the time. It just ain't going to work like that. You're not going to get anything being no beggar nation, being a beggar people. Well, it ain't for me. Why it ain't for you? Did you do the research to find out if it was for you or not? Are you just going based off of what somebody else done put in your mind? Y'all don't even check this man's records, but y'all always want to tell somebody you checking their receipts. Well, show me the receipt. Well, y'all show me the receipt. I'm still trying to find the receipt when this man came to your house and called you out your name. Never. Nobody can give me one. Because y'all just lying on folks. Y'all just going along to get along with people. And that's not what we do, y'all. We're better than that. We're nobles. We're a royalty. And we walk around here acting like we're none of those things. And we are. So whose fault is it? It's ours. Who's the real racist? Sometimes I have to ask. Sometimes I'm pointing back to us. Because we hate so bad, we don't even see the blessing when it's coming. So then it makes me wonder who's really the racist around here. Because we got all the power in the world. We got all the power in the world. So I wanted to bring that today. My girls, they had some things going on, so they wasn't able to make it. But we'll come back with this genetics and DNA because I think that's a very important topic for the people, so that we can know the difference. Because your DNA don't really do nothing for you. You give them your DNA, you probably got a dog in it, cat, snake. Ain't no telling what's in it because you done put all kind of things in your mouth to mix with your saliva. So you don't know what's up in there. But when it come back, you might come back as anything. But your genetics is gonna tell you who you are. Your genes, your genetics. And the only way you can trace that back is through the mother, through the woman. This is why it's important to have more respect for womanhood. Because without a woman, would nobody be here. That's who God really is. God is the woman. That's the way you get back to heaven. Because through her, that's when you touch heaven. That's straight up. That's heaven. It feel like heaven. It's heaven. So that is our demonstration for today. I trust y'all have an amazing holy day. I hope I can catch me a few holy day meetings to go into to just hear my brothers and sisters demonstrate today. But yeah, I'm mastering self. I'm coming in mastering myself. I'm coming into master self. I got to. It's important for my children, for my grandchildren, for the community at large. Because you got to be what you say you are. You can't just walk around here talking about I'm this, I'm that. Be what you are. Be what you say you are. Islam. So I trust y'all have an amazing holy day. Holy day meetings are starting in like 30 minutes. And I got this bug in and out of here today. So y'all have fun. We'll be back when my sisters can come on because it was some things that went down. And yeah, I was ready for this demonstration, but I just gave y'all those current events. Once again, I think that's my second time giving them to y'all. But I don't think they can ever get old because we need to know. We need to know. So peace and love to you all.